Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, we're out here doing a little content for everybody. This is a nice, mild, overcast Friday. I love it. A little Peter Stokeby and the old 39 World's Fair pipe. World's tomorrow. Yes, souvenir pipe. Anyways, we're burning the old little whiz. The brass fount and crown little wizard. Now I had the signal green globe in this thing, as you saw in one of my videos about this when I, got it running. But I put the clear globe back in it. Put the clear globe back in it because, well, I've been using it to walk the dog and just enjoy the nice light, whatnot. So the colored globes, as we know, can cancer up, and I don't want that to happen to that signal green globe because it's beautiful and rare, and they are potentially big money. There is a real big interest, I should say, in antique-colored glass globes. Ever since one sold for, well, not one like it, but a dark emerald green fit-all Dietz globe from the 19-teens sold for $13.20 last month or so. Yeah, so I'm being very guarded with my colored globes. Yeah, because what I have is limited, and well, we don't want them to crack or break or cancer up, so I'm being very cautious with them until maybe the price comes down a little bit. But anyway, that's just me. So burning the nice little wizard. I just love the patina on this thing. It's just pretty to look at. I love the dark patina. I mean, originally it would have been bright tin contrasted with the brass, but over the years that dark patina looks really nice with the brass. I think it's a beautiful contrast as well. So I'm very happy with this lantern. Very happy. So anyway, got a surprise. I have a subscriber and friend of mine on Facebook. He's also a pipe smoker too, I think. But he's an artist, as well as I am. I'm an artist too. Yeah. But shout out to my friend Adam in New York. He sent me this. You see that? He drew that. He did a portrait of me for my channel. How about that? Is that fun? Yeah, looks just like me, right? I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you, Adam. Really dig it. He posted on Instagram, and he sent me a copy on Facebook. So thanks, Adam. That was very thoughtful and very kind of you, and I think it's great. And he does portraits of other friends of his and also himself, and he's got a whole kind of line going on in the same style and in vein. So being part of that, I feel honored. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. And I appreciate your subscription and that you enjoy my content. I really do. It means a lot. Anyway, speaking of New York, well, I'm smoking the New York World's Fair pipe. So there we go. We're on brand for New York, and we're burning a lantern that was made in New York, Syracuse, So yeah, we're feeling very East Coast right now. Anyways, some things have been floating around. Got a tickle in my throat. Things have been floating around I wanted to share. Okay. And this is something I want to share. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm just going up here to grab something. All right. Now, move this guy a little back there. Here we go. We're back. Now, what I want to share is something I noticed with a lot of projects that people share online. Now, I'm not going to run anybody down. That's not my style. I like to be uplifting and help encourage people get into hobbies and pursue their passions, right? And I applaud any restoration job, even though it might not be my taste. I like to give them positive feedback because, well, it takes a special individual to turn their attention to stuff like this. Okay? And it's still not mainstream. Even though there's some crazy prices that some lanterns have been catching online, which is entertaining, it doesn't mean that the collector or lantern world is exactly a mainstream or recognized collectible yet. Like, well, railroad lanterns, absolutely. But tubular, I don't think it's there yet. It's getting there. But anyways, I see a lot of restorations posted on the Facebook groups, and a lot of them are beautiful, beautiful jobs. As many of you know, that I really am not into painted lanterns or painting lanterns. Unless they were originally painted, then that's great in my opinion, okay? Now, I have some lanterns that were painted early on, some original, some were painted by, say, a utility department, by the city, whatever. Okay, so those ones will stay painted. I haven't stripped them. I leave the original paint on there, as is. Now the mill lantern, the Dietz mill lantern. Okay, I have one. You've seen it before. It's a cool lantern. I like the mill lantern. It's a great piece. And crazy thing is, people are starting to, kind of get wise to them. Are they rare? Not really. Are they cool? Yeah, they're very cool. This one is original paint. Okay? And by the mid-20s, I want to say maybe by the 20s in general, but by that decade, they started painting them red. To my understanding, prior to that, they were just bare tin. So painting them was done by, say, the manager of the mill or an employee or whatever. So, and that was the case with most lanterns in the 19th century, early 20th century. You buy a lantern, you paint it whatever color you wanted if you felt it needed to be painted, so it would stand out against other lanterns on a project if you're a contractor, or if you felt that protecting it from rust, which was of course the case still even then when they were new, then you'd paint it. I've seen a lot of old lanterns that were painted to protect them against the elements. Trying to keep this going. It wants to die on me. Anyway, so with that being said, there's a trick to painting a mill lantern to, well, what it should be or what it was originally, and I'll go into that. A lot of people don't understand, and it's not their fault, but there's a method to painting a lantern correctly to factory specs. Now, if that's a goal of yours to be authentic to how it was originally, then great. If not, you just want to paint it, then that's different too. Now, you might see there's spots that aren't painted, okay? And that would be the globe plate, the burner cone, and the burner. And also, on a hot blast, the center draft tube. Now, you might say, why is that not painted? I'll tell you. You'll be surprised. Maybe you won't be. Actually, it makes great sense. Excuse me. I have to tend my fire here. All right, there we go. So why is the globe plate and the burner cone not painted? Or the center draft tube, for that matter? Well, it's all a matter of function. So, when this lantern was brand new, the globe plate, was bright tin. Now it's aged and kind of rusty, but still bare metal. Okay, but this would have been bright tin. Let's put this down for a second. So bright tin is a much better reflector of light. Okay, so bright tin definitely would reflect light up and out. Same with the burner cone. The burner cone would have been bright tin as well. It also it's a high heat piece. So the burner cone would definitely have more heat because of the flame. The burner itself was not painted, never was. And they were heavy tin, right? They were tinned. Yeah, over time, it can get rusted. But this thing, when I bought it, it was pretty much never used. It was pretty much an unfired lantern from my understanding. But anyway, the wick, regulator, stem, and wheel were never painted because they use a heavy gauge steel, and I've really never seen too much rust on those anyway. But yeah, the burner cone never was painted because of course it is heavy tin, and this was never painted either. The glow plate, but the center draft tube, you're probably wondering, why was that not painted? Well, it's a high friction spot. So it actually is more functioning, functions better, I should say, rather, than with paint. So this metal strip here, and the lift tab, and this center section of the draft tube, they lift up much smoother without paint, because when you add paint, it's an extra layer. Okay, it's an extra layer, and it causes less. Causes more friction, and it doesn't lift up as easily, say, if it was bare metal. So, my recommendation, take it for what it's worth, is if you find a mill lantern and you want to paint it, try to leave those spots bare, because it's better functioning when they are. So if the glow plate's dirty and rusty and it won't reflect light no matter what, well, you can clean it and also use a bright silver or chrome styled paint that will give the illusion or the same properties as tin. So you can definitely clean them up. I've seen some people paint them with a chrome paint, and it actually looks like tin. It's totally fooled me. But then, of course, you can definitely clean the center draft tube up there and make that operate smoother. And it's still bare metal. You can use a little evaporust or WD-40, and the standard thing. So yeah, but that's my suggestion on the mill lantern. The cage, of course, were painted. Everything else was, except for the cone, the burner, regulator, stem, and wheel, and the glow plate in the center part of the draft tube. You can just totally see where the paint stops, and that's original. So yeah, if you want to repaint something as it was original, that's my suggestion to you. Also on cold blasts. So some cold blasts, were painted. Let's just say, oh gosh, which one do we want to use it as an example? Well, I'll just take down the Blizzard here. So on some of the Dietz lanterns, like say the Wagon Dietz Juniors, they were painted black by the 1920s. But the chimney, or the smoke, the chimney, this right here, this part was never painted. And reason being is it's very high heat, so paint would just crinkle up and probably turn colors and flake off anyways. This was tinned. Also, the reflector was never painted. So, case in point, the Buckeye Dash lamp right here. Buckeye Dash. So this was originally had a Japan finish on it. The blue Japan, you'll probably see a little bit traces of blue Japanning on there, right? This is one of my favorites. This is a beautiful lantern. But anyways, when people want to redo the blue Japan or paint it black or black Japan, which was also available, I've seen the inside reflector painted. And if that's a personal choice, that's fine. I have nothing wrong to say about that. I have nothing to say negatively about that. But the whole point was to throw light forward. And this was bright tin. And as you can see, this one is in pretty good shape. I cleaned it up very mild. It didn't need a whole lot. But this would have been bright tin. So if it's not bright tin and it's dirty and dingy, then silver paint or chrome paint would definitely be appropriate for reflecting light forward. Now, of course, we don't use these as they were intended anymore. So it's just, personal taste. But if you want to restore something to its original specs, then that'd probably be the best advice I could give you. And a lot of people don't understand this. I mean, it's no one's fault. It really isn't. It's no one's fault for not knowing these things because we're dealing with antiquated items. And a lot of time has passed, and we don't often think about these things. But, you know, just looking at catalog pictures can give us some information. Sometimes we find something that is original, yet we don't understand that it is. We don't always know when something is completely original. We think someone painted it at some point and whatever. There's a lot of speculation that goes on. But once you know what to look for, you have that tool in your tool shed of how to decipher if it's original or not. And when I painted some lanterns, I painted the LA County high-low square tank for my friend. So I looked at photos of original ones, and also I have an original one too. And I noticed that the center draft tube was not painted, just was bare, where the smoke bell would go up and down. So, it was, you know, that makes sense. So I didn't paint that, and I painted it as close of a color to the original color as I could get. And it came out great, and my friend loves it. But it's interesting when you start doing the detail look, you look at things differently, then it'll make sense. It really does. So that's just my suggestion. Take it for what it's worth. I don't expect everyone to do as I say, and that's not really why I'm here. I'm not here to be the oracle of information and how to restore lanterns. You gotta restore them to how you like them. And, yeah. That's it. Hope that makes sense. It really is a nice afternoon to enjoy a pipe and your company. So yeah, that's the content for Friday. That's my tidbit of wisdom. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I of course enjoy making them. So yeah, I'm just gonna end it now. Enjoy the rest of the oil and this old little wizard, and enjoy the rest of this. So have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you guys again on Monday as usual. All right. Have a great one. Now, bye-bye.